Alright, hi there everyone. I have a Moen product here, the ioDigital system for the shower. I'm having several issues with it, but I want to see if I can just go ahead and show you and start with that. Now, among the problems that we're having is variable flow from the front head's shower as well as the body sprays. They're set up on A and B on the system, and it caused a lot of issues whereby the flow can be severely hampered. For instance, the overhead shower, rain shower head, and wand shower don't seem to have that same issue. Let me see if I can show you. We're just going to try lowering. There we go. So that's all on eco, and you can see it obviously is just dribbling. I'm going to go ahead and push it to all the way on full power, and for whatever reason, you can see over here we're full power, and we're still getting minimal flow. The light here was flashing for difficulty in achieving, there it goes, a regulated temperature, so I don't know if this is somehow related. I'll go ahead and turn that back down, and you can see nothing has really changed. I'm going to turn it back up. Minimal effect. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off now. You can see that light is still blinking. We're going to turn this off and restart it. Now it restarts at full. Take a look at the stream. I'm going to go ahead again and turn this down. And again, shower responds. We get a blinking light, cranking it back up, and minimal effect. So I'm going to turn this all off. I'm going to see if I can induce another problem that we have. So that was just with the overhead shower to begin with. Okay. Now, one of the things that does happen, that when we do shower, and we start to notice that the temperature gauge is having issues in regulating temperature, at least that's what it indicates when it blinks red and blue. The lower button regulating the flow doesn't have any effect at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and then I'll restart the feed. Just for your knowledge, however, is we do have a 120-gallon tank downstairs that hot water tank that we got just dedicated to this shower system alone. Because initially, when we were having this kind of issue, following the installation and reading through the manual, and given the fact that we were having flow challenges, the suggestion in the manual was that the issue would come from from having to split the hot water tank to the rest of the house. So we purchased a dedicated feed at a 120-gallon tank just for this shower system alone. And usually within a few minutes, even though that we are dealing with a 120-gallon tank, with me taking a shower this morning, for instance, it only took a matter of a few minutes for the temperature gauge on the system to start to fluctuate and have that flashing red and blue. And at that point, if I try and alter the flow regulator, nothing at all happens. It stays at the same flow. I can turn it all the way down or all the way up and no change whatsoever. So I'm just going to turn this off and restart it once we get to that point, but it should be just a few minutes here. All right, welcome back. I have let it run for the past 7 minutes now, and it does not seem to be giving a temperature control issue. That seems to be pretty steady. This is very much unlike this system. Perhaps it has something to do with the first shower of the day causing the issue. But again, this happens regularly every morning. Maybe I'll try and catch it tomorrow morning, whereby if I take a shower long enough, so usually by 7 minutes or so, the temperature regulator starts having issue, and then if I were to use the flow regulator at that point, absolutely no flow change will occur. Either from lowest to highest setting makes no difference. It stays stationary. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now instead, I'll go ahead and put the there we go. So now we have a combined body shower system. So we have the front body heads plus the overhead shower head, all working simultaneously. And this is at the medium setting, and you can see how dismal the flow rate is. Now, while this is like this, here, I'm going to go ahead and lower the flow so you can see how dismal it does get. So very little up top, a tiny dribble here, and pretty much everything has stopped, even though it should be on the lowest setting. I'll go ahead and put it on the highest now. And there we go. Nothing is happening. You can clearly see the settings that we have here. So the top two are designated on. Now the temperature gauge is having an issue maintaining temperature, and the flow should be at max. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the overhead shower and the wand as well. So you'll see this right now. All right. These guys come on with very good effect. There's no issue whatsoever for them. And at the same time, again, our front system, nothing is happening. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this all the way down. You see how much of a difference it makes to flow. And I hope you can appreciate that. You can still, obviously it still has decent flow, but it is much reduced. You can probably hear the difference. I'll go ahead and turn it back up again. And that's back up to full. So you can see that it's got a very good flow on both C and D whenever that's employed. But A and B are problematic I'll go ahead and turn off A and B, see if we can jimmy them again. And turn them back on. And now, the flow is better than it was before. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back down. So again with the front system, almost with nothing passing. So this is again A and B. And our back system, significantly reduced on eco mode, but again, still flowing well. The front now has totally stopped. We'll turn, and you can see that the temperature gauge is apparently having a problem. It's bouncing all over the place. But again, there should be absolutely no reason for that. The tank is a 120 gallon tank, and there should be ample, at this point, should be ample water flow for all of this. We'll turn this back off again. Turn off the back. Turn on the front. Even by itself on eco mode, you can see how dismal this is. With the system flashing. Turning it back up. This is now on max. So you can see that the flow regulator has no effect at this point. Now we're going to try turning the system off totally. Turning it back on. Right now it's on eco mode, but I think at this point it'll be arbitrary. That's what the flow looks like. Let me go ahead and put on the wand, just so you can see what the wand does at this. There's the wand. If you would rather see the overhead rain shower, I'll turn this off. Show you what the rain shower looks like. Again, contrast that to what's coming out of the front head. And now we'll go ahead and crank this up. You can hear the difference from the overhead rain shower. And now you're going to see the difference. A nice, strong stream. So I hope someone at Moen or someone else can provide us with some guidance here, because I do not know how to fix this problem. We've already gone in and replaced the hot water tank with a 120 gallon tank, as I had alluded to before. It is dedicated just to the shower. It has a 240,000 BTU gas boiler that's dedicated to it. I just don't understand where the problem is. To me, the problem's got to be at the valve itself. It must be a faulty valve servicing A and B, because C and D obviously work very well at this point. Anyway, thank you. Bye for now. Alright, as promised, this is now the next morning. I just want to quickly show you what ends up happening. So at this point you can see that the temperature regulator is blinking, which should imply that it's having difficulty controlling temperature, but I can assure you that the temperature of the water is still quite warm. That's not the issue at all. And now, let me show you the stream. I'm going to turn the flow regulator all the way down. It was at the midway point. Alright, no apparent change. Let me show you here what's going on. You can see that the flow regulator is all the way down. Temperature is still having an issue. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to turn this up all the way max. And again, you can see no change has taken place. I'll show you the map. There we go. All the way full. Again, if anyone can help, please lend a hand.